أنا من هذا خلال منبركم أعلن ندائي إلى رئيس وزراء إسرائيل بنيامين نتنياهو، أمشي عليك الإنجيل والتوراة عنا تتبنانا إحنا نيابة عن هاي الشباب تروحون لإسرائيل. كل العالم اليوم تبرت من الديانة هاي مالتكم بسببكم، الله ينتقم منكم إن شاء الله.
What you just heard is a man in Iraq, yes, Iraq, screaming to a news camera for former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to bring them to Israel. Yep, you heard that correctly. An Iraqi Arab is screaming out to be saved by Netanyahu and the Jewish state of Israel. This is truly unbelievable and should be shaking up the newsrooms of all establishment media all over the world. But it's not, and it won't. So what was that video of the Iraqi man all about? And why? Why was he calling out for former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to bring them to Israel? Folks, as you know, social media censorship is growing. The best way to support our video work for Israel is to subscribe to our video newsletter on pulseofisrael.com and to share our videos. If you are already a subscriber, then thank you. Well, just a few days ago, the people of Iraq experienced another in a growing number of tragedies. This time, a hospital went up in flames, taking the lives of more than 90 people inside, I imagine mostly sick patients. A horrible tragedy. Now, Iraq is a Sunni Muslim majority country that is now basically under the control of the Shiite Islamic regime of Iran. Let's just say that life is not that good right now for the Sunni Muslims in Iraq or for any of the non-Shiite minorities who live in Iraq today. But what did we just witness in that video earlier? In their time of need and suffering, some Iraqis are not calling out to Iranian leaders for help, nor are they calling for help from other Arab leaders in the region. They are specifically calling out to the one and only Jewish leader in the Middle East, the former Prime Minister of the Jewish state of Israel, for help. And not just help, but to literally take them away from their horrible country and to be brought to the Jewish state of Israel. This is just mind-boggling. And it's unbelievable because it goes against all the narratives and stereotypes about Israel and the Jewish state of Israel that is fed to the public on a daily basis by the establishment media. Now, I want you to internalize how jaw-dropping this event is. The establishment media and many Western politicians are always focused on saying how Israel is oppressing the Arabs, how Israel is an apartheid state where Israel persecutes the Arab Muslims. Well, what do these people of Iraq know that most Western journalists and even politicians do not know? The truth. These Iraqi Arabs know the truth. They wouldn't be calling out to be saved by the leader of a people that persecutes them. They wouldn't be calling out to be flown to an apartheid state where they would be persecuted, right? Because that is the type of life that they're living in Iraq today. They're persecuted under an Iranian regime, a Shiite Muslim Iranian regime. It's a horrible reality with a horrible life and even persecution that establishment media and Western politicians ignore. No, they want to be saved by the one country in the Middle East that values life, where they could have freedom and equality as Arabs, Muslims, whatever they are, in the Jewish state of Israel. Any journalist who has any self-respect as a journalist should be running with this story to highlight the hypocrisy and lies of the narrative that people are fed about Israel day after day. But they aren't doing that, and they won't, because they are too dedicated to perpetuating anti-Israel lies instead of letting facts and truth get in the way of changing their coverage to actually report the truth. The bottom line is that Israel is not the problem in the Middle East. Not at all. The Jewish state of Israel is the solution for the Middle East in so many ways. And we are a light into the whole world. And thank you for helping me share these truths and help share these videos so more people can know these truths and not be convinced by the lies of the establishment media and so many Western politicians.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.